More than 2 out of every 3 adults over 60 believe that waking up several times a night is simply part of aging. Yet doctors warn that these broken nights quietly increase the risk of memory loss, heart strain, and even dangerous falls in the dark. What feels harmless may actually be stealing years of health without you realizing it. But here is the surprising truth. A tiny spice found in almost every kitchen has been shown to calm an overactive bladder and gently support the body's natural sleep rhythm. Many elders in both America and India have shared that after adding this spice to their evening routine, they began sleeping through the night with fewer interruptions. Today, I'm going to show you how this small habit can transform your nights and why your body may respond faster than you expect once you give it the right support. Before we begin, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Where are you watching this video? What time are you watching it? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe so you never miss the next message made for seniors like you. Stay with me, because what looks like an ordinary spice could be the key to quieter nights, deeper rest, and mornings that feel brighter than they have in years. The secret of aging and sleep. As the years move gently forward, many older adults notice that their nights no longer feel the same. What was once a stretch of calm, unbroken sleep often becomes a series of interruptions, with the body waking 2 or 3 times before dawn. Scientists explain that one hidden reason lies in hormones that quietly decline with age. Vasopressin, which normally tells the kidneys to slow urine production during the night, is released in smaller amounts after 60. At the same time, melatonin, the hormone that guides the body into deep restorative rest, also begins to fade. Without enough of these signals, sleep becomes lighter, the bladder fills more quickly, and waking up becomes almost inevitable. The bladder itself changes as well. In younger years, it could comfortably hold 14 to 16 ounces of fluid before sending an urgent signal. After 60, the capacity may shrink to just 6 or 7 ounces, barely half a small glass. This means that even a modest amount of fluid can trigger the brain to wake you, breaking the rhythm of rest. For many elders in both America and India, this experience feels discouraging. They lie awake in the dark, wondering if something is wrong or if this is simply their fate as the years pass. Yet the consequences reach beyond the night. Broken sleep affects the heart, since each awakening raises blood pressure and forces the body to work harder. Memory becomes less sharp as the brain loses the deep cycles that store and protect information. Mood can shift as well, leading to quiet frustration, irritability, or even feelings of sadness that are difficult to explain. A retired teacher in Ohio once admitted that after months of restless nights, he no longer trusted his own concentration in the classroom of life. An elderly woman in Mumbai shared that her energy for family gatherings began to fade, not because she lacked love, but because her nights had become so short. The good news is that these changes do not mean you have lost control. Simple steps such as adjusting fluid intake, practicing evening routines that calm the body, and learning which foods to avoid at night can help restore balance. Doctors remind us that aging changes the rhythm of the body, but rhythm can be guided gently. You may not sleep exactly as you did at 20, but with care, you can still protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and greet each morning with hope. Tiny spice, a natural companion. In kitchens around the world, from quiet suburban homes in New Jersey to small apartments in Mumbai, cinnamon sticks rest quietly in jars and drawers. For many families, this spice is simply a flavor sprinkled on oatmeal, baked into apple pie, or stirred into masala chai. Yet hidden inside those slender brown sticks is a gift that older adults may find more valuable than they ever imagined. For centuries, cinnamon has been used in traditional remedies, and modern science is now confirming what many elders have always sensed. This humble spice can calm the bladder, soothe the nervous system, and help restore the deep restorative sleep that so often feels out of reach after 60. The secret lies in cinnamon's natural chemistry. It contains essential oils, particularly cinnamaldehyde, which have been shown to relax smooth muscles throughout the body. The bladder is lined with these muscles, and when they spasm unnecessarily, they send signals of urgency to the brain. That is why many seniors wake in the middle of the night even when the bladder is not truly full. By easing those contractions, cinnamon reduces false alarms and allows the body to remain at rest. At the same time, cinnamon gently influences blood sugar, helping to prevent spikes or drops that can trigger restlessness. Stable blood sugar through the evening supports a calmer nervous system, which in turn makes it easier to drift into deeper sleep cycles. Scientific studies, though small, give these observations a strong foundation. Researchers have found that cinnamon holds mild sedative properties, interacting with neurotransmitters that govern sleep rhythms. In trials with older adults, those who included cinnamon in their evening diet reported fewer awakenings, more continuous rest, and a calmer state of mind upon waking. Unlike strong sleeping pills, which can force the brain into unconsciousness while leaving behind dizziness or morning fog, cinnamon encourages balance naturally. It works in harmony with the body's rhythms rather than pushing against them. For seniors who already manage multiple medications, this gentle quality is a valuable advantage. Real-life stories illustrate the science in a way no textbook can. A retired teacher in Texas began adding half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon to her warm milk each evening, at first simply hoping it would help her digestion. Within 2 weeks, she found she was waking only once instead of 3 times each night. Her mornings grew clearer, her energy steadier, and her confidence slowly returned. In Pune, an elderly gentleman rediscovered the habit of chewing a small piece of cinnamon bark after dinner. He said the practice not only reduced his nighttime awakenings, but also reconnected him to the memories of his childhood when his mother offered cinnamon for comfort. For many seniors, broken sleep feels like a quiet thief. It steals confidence, limits independence, and leaves mornings clouded with fatigue. The thought that something as ordinary as cinnamon might restore calm brings hope without the pressure of drastic change. This is not about replacing medical advice or ignoring important treatments. Rather, it is about adding a natural companion, one that has been within reach all along, waiting quietly in the kitchen. So as you think about your nights, remember that solutions do not always come in the form of prescriptions or complicated devices. Sometimes they arrive in the simplest form: a cinnamon stick, a gentle habit, a signal to the body that it is time to rest. With steady, moderate use, this tiny spice can be more than flavor. It can become a trusted partner, helping you restore balance, renew strength, and wake each morning with the quiet joy of peace and clarity. How to use cinnamon the right way. When it comes to using cinnamon for better sleep, the method matters just as much as the spice itself. Many seniors keep a small jar of cinnamon in the kitchen, but are unsure how to bring it into their nightly routine in a safe, gentle way. The good news is that there are three simple options, each one easy to follow, each one already familiar to most households. The first method is the most traditional. You can chew a small piece of cinnamon bark directly after dinner, letting the flavor release slowly in your mouth. This practice helps calm digestion and gently relax the bladder before bedtime. Many elders in India remember their parents doing this after meals, and in American kitchens, it feels almost like chewing a natural lozenge instead of candy. The taste may be strong at first, but the body often responds with a warm, soothing calm. The second option is to brew a cup of warm cinnamon tea. Simply place half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon or a small stick into hot water and let it steep for 10 minutes. Drink it slowly about 30 minutes before bed. Seniors in Michigan have shared that this ritual feels comforting on cold evenings, while elders in Kerala enjoy it with a touch of honey for extra relaxation. The warm liquid carries the spice gently into the system, reducing tension and preparing the body for rest. The third method is to mix cinnamon with warm milk. This combination is beloved in both American and Indian traditions, whether it is bedtime milk with a sprinkle of spice in Ohio or turmeric milk with cinnamon in Gujarat. Half a teaspoon stirred into a cup of warm milk creates a soothing drink that supports the nervous system and helps regulate sleep cycles. It also adds a familiar comfort, reminding many elders of childhood nights when milk meant safety and rest. Timing is important. Doctors suggest taking cinnamon soon after your evening meal or about 30 minutes before going to bed. This gives the body time to absorb the compounds and align with the natural rhythm of sleep. And when it comes to quantity, less is more. For most older adults, half a teaspoon each evening, whether chewed, brewed, or stirred, is both safe and effective. Larger amounts are unnecessary and may upset digestion. The point is not to overwhelm the body, but to guide it gently back into balance. A retired librarian in Boston once said, "It feels like a signal to my body that the day is over." For her, that small cup of cinnamon milk became more than a drink, it became a nightly promise of rest. With patience and moderation, cinnamon can serve the same role for you, a steady companion, helping you reclaim the peace of uninterrupted sleep. Common mistakes to avoid. Even with the best intentions, many older adults unknowingly make small mistakes that prevent cinnamon from offering its full benefit. These habits may seem harmless at first, but over time, they quietly disturb sleep and increase frustration. The first mistake is drinking too much water along with the spice itself. Some elders believe that a large glass of water helps wash everything down, but in reality, the bladder fills quickly and interrupts rest. Doctors remind us that a sip is enough to swallow the spice or to enjoy it in tea, while an entire glass before bed almost guarantees an awakening at 2 or 3 in the morning. Another mistake comes from combining cinnamon with salty, spicy, or greasy foods late in the evening. Imagine finishing dinner with a plate of heavily seasoned takeout or a bowl of fried snacks, and then adding a cinnamon drink on top. The salt increases thirst, the spice irritates the bladder, and the oil slows digestion. A retired gentleman in Houston once shared that his habit of pairing cinnamon tea with salty popcorn during late-night television left him waking every 90 minutes. When he moved the popcorn to the afternoon and kept his cinnamon tea plain, his nights became calmer. A third error is using too much too quickly. In the hope of fast results, some seniors double or even triple the amount. Yet more does not mean better. Excess cinnamon can upset digestion, cause heartburn, or create discomfort that cancels out any potential benefit. Moderation matters. Half a teaspoon each evening is sufficient for most, and consistency is far more effective than large doses taken irregularly. Finally, there is the well-meaning habit of going to the bathroom just in case before bed. While it sounds sensible, this practice trains the bladder to feel urgency even when only a small amount is inside. Over time, the nerves adapt to this false signal and the body begins to wake for no real reason. A widow in Delhi shared that she spent years making 3 unnecessary trips each night believing she was being careful. Once her doctor explained the pattern, she practiced waiting for a true urge instead of a habit, and within weeks her bladder adjusted, allowing her to sleep longer stretches without interruption. These mistakes are not failures. They are simply misunderstandings that no one warned us about. With small adjustments, less water at night, lighter evening meals, moderate spice use, and trust in the body's real signals, you can reclaim peaceful nights. The lesson is clear. Aging does not mean surrendering to restless sleep. It means listening more closely to the body's quiet messages and guiding them gently back into balance. 5 evening habits for deeper sleep. Good sleep after 60 is never just about what you add, but also about how you shape your evenings. Many older adults, whether in Ohio or in Mumbai, discover that small changes bring more comfort than expensive remedies. When your nights feel broken, 5 gentle habits can work together to protect both your rest and your health. The first habit is to manage water through the day instead of leaving it for late evening. Doctors explain that the kidneys process fluids more smoothly when intake is spread from morning until mid-afternoon. By reducing large amounts of water after 7 p.m., you give your bladder time to empty before lying down. A grandmother in Texas said she once drank 3 glasses of water after dinner, believing it would keep her skin healthy. After shifting those glasses to earlier in the day, she noticed that her nights stretched longer and her mornings felt less groggy. The second habit is to keep dinner early, light, and easy to digest. Heavy meals late at night push the stomach to work overtime, pressing on the bladder and interfering with melatonin release. In American households, this might mean avoiding late pizza or fried foods, while in Indian kitchens, it could be moving dal or rice dishes to an earlier hour. A couple in Pune found that eating by 7 p.m. gave them calmer nights, even though nothing else in their diet changed. The body needs time to settle before rest, and an early dinner is a powerful gift. The third habit is to be cautious with fruits after sunset, especially those rich in water or acid. Oranges, watermelon, cucumbers, and even fresh juice can quietly overload the bladder or irritate its lining. An older man in Florida loved eating grapefruit at night, but later realized it explained his 2 extra bathroom trips. When he moved fruit to the afternoon, his bladder became calmer and his nights more peaceful. It is not about giving up healthy foods, but about choosing the right time. The fourth habit is gentle movement, even while sitting. What some call invisible steps can be done in a chair, lifting heels then toes to activate circulation in the legs. This reduces swelling in the ankles that often pushes fluid back into the kidneys at night. A retired engineer in Delhi practiced these steps while watching evening news, and within weeks he felt less heaviness in his legs and slept with fewer interruptions. Small movements done regularly protect both heart and bladder. The fifth and final habit is to create a bedroom environment that supports rest. The body sleeps best when the room is slightly cool, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and clothing is light and breathable. Sleeping on the side with a pillow between the knees can reduce pressure on the bladder and improve circulation. One widow in Chicago discovered that by lowering her thermostat a few degrees and switching to cotton pajamas, her sweating stopped and her bathroom trips declined. Comfort, after all, is not only emotional, it is physical, and small details make the difference. These 5 habits are not dramatic cures, but they remind us that aging bodies respond to rhythm and respect. By guiding your evenings with care, you allow sleep to return as a natural companion, steady and healing. The message is hopeful. Your nights are not lost. They are waiting for you to reclaim them. Sometimes the best proof does not come from numbers or research papers, but from the real lives of people like you. In California, a retired gentleman named Robert struggled for years with nights that felt broken into pieces. He would wake 2 or 3 times, shuffling down the hallway, his body heavy and his mind weary. His wife noticed how his mornings grew darker with less energy for gardening or long walks. At first, he blamed age, assuming nothing could change. Then a friend suggested trying a pinch of cinnamon in warm milk and adjusting his water intake earlier in the day. Robert was skeptical, but he tried. Within 1 week, something remarkable happened. Instead of waking every few hours, he slept for 6 hours straight, a stretch he had not experienced in years. He described the feeling as waking into sunlight after months of cloudy skies. His story shows that small, thoughtful changes can restore what many assume is lost forever. Across the world, in the heart of Mumbai, a grandmother named Asha faced a similar struggle. For years, she rose 3 times each night, her knees aching with each step to the bathroom. She felt embarrassed to speak about it, even with her children, fearing they would see her as weak. When she learned about cinnamon and the importance of reducing fluids after sunset, she made one small promise to herself. She chewed a tiny piece of cinnamon bark each evening and stopped drinking large cups of tea after dinner. The results surprised her. Within 2 weeks, her bathroom visits dropped from 3 to just 1. For the first time in years, she woke with a lightness in her body and a smile she could not hide. Her family noticed the change and celebrated with a proof that health victories are not only personal but shared. These stories remind us that aging is not the end of restful nights. The body may change, but it still responds with gratitude when guided gently. Whether in California or Mumbai, the lesson is the same. Small, consistent steps, choosing the right spice, shifting the timing of water, respecting the body's rhythm, can bring back the gift of peaceful sleep. And when sleep is restored, energy, memory, and joy return as well. Your story can be next, and the first step may be as simple as opening a spice jar and believing that change is still possible. Simple science for better sleep. When we talk about broken sleep after 60, the reasons often sound complicated, filled with medical words that feel distant. Yet the truth is easier to understand than many expect. The The body relies on a network of nerves and hormones that guide the kidneys, the bladder, and the brain. Vasopressin, a hormone made during the night, tells the kidneys to slow urine production so the bladder can rest. Melatonin, another hormone, tells the brain and nervous system that it is time to sleep deeply. As age advances, the body makes less of both. With lower vasopressin, the bladder fills faster. With less melatonin, the brain no longer sinks into the heavy stages of rest. Together, these changes explain why so many older adults wake too often feeling tired before morning arrives. The bladder itself is more sensitive after 60. In younger years, it may hold 14 to 16 ounces before sending a strong signal. Later in life, even 6 or 7 ounces can trigger urgency. This does not mean the bladder is broken, only that its nerves have become less patient. They mistake small pressure for a full load, sending alarms to the brain before they are truly needed. Understanding this simple mechanism can reduce the fear that something more serious is wrong. Everyday examples make the science easier to picture. In the United States, many seniors turn to chamomile tea before bed. Chamomile contains a plant compound called apigenin, which helps calm the brain and gently reduce false signals from the bladder. In India, warm turmeric milk offers a similar comfort, blending the anti-inflammatory power of turmeric with the soothing routine of a bedtime drink. Both traditions show how natural foods can support the body in ways that medicine sometimes overlooks. It is important to recognize the difference between natural support and strong medication. Sleeping pills may push the brain into unconsciousness, but they often carry risks: morning drowsiness, memory slips, or even dangerous falls when getting up at night. By contrast, gentle aids like cinnamon, chamomile, or turmeric milk work with the body's rhythm, not against it. They may not bring instant results, but with patience they help restore the natural cycles that protect heart health, memory, and mood. A retired shop owner in New Jersey once said that taking a pill felt like forcing his body to obey. Switching to cinnamon milk felt more like guiding a partner back onto the right path. That difference matters. With natural support, the body remembers its own wisdom. With steady practice, restful nights return, and with them comes the quiet assurance that aging does not mean surrendering to exhaustion. It means listening closely, making small changes, and trusting that balance is still possible. Now that you have learned how small changes can protect your nights, I would love to hear from you directly. Please share your own bedtime habits in the comments below. Do you usually fall asleep right away, or do you find yourself waking more than once? Do you prefer warm milk, herbal tea, or perhaps a quiet walk before bed? Each story matters because when you share your experience, you may give comfort to another person quietly struggling in the same way. I also invite you to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell. That simple step ensures you never miss the next video designed especially for seniors. Every week we explore one new idea, sometimes rooted in science, sometimes drawn from everyday traditions that can make life after 60 more vibrant. Think of it as a small reminder waiting for you, guiding your days with clarity and your nights with peace. If this video has been helpful, please take a moment to share it with a friend, a neighbor, or even a family member who may also be searching for better rest. In America, many seniors live alone and hesitate to ask for advice. In India, older adults often remain silent, not wishing to burden their families. By passing along this video, you may be giving someone else the first step toward relief, a step they might not have taken on their own. I want to make you a promise. Each week, I will bring you one simple, practical tip, easy to apply, safe to try and designed to help you live stronger and calmer after 60. You will not need expensive equipment, complicated diets, or confusing instructions. Just small, steady guidance to help you feel more at home in your body again. Together as a community, we can share our wisdom, encourage each other, and prove that aging does not mean losing control. It means learning, adapting, and finding hope in every new day.